Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Maritzah K if you are new here, and today we're just going to be doing a talk through get ready with me because I have to get ready for work, and I just want to update you guys what's going on in life and kind of like how life's been treating me, and just wanted to check in with you guys. Things have been a little, life has been lifing. That's the best way to put it. Life has been life. And so if you guys want to know where I've been at and what content's going to be like in the future and all that good stuff, and just hear me ramble and talk while I do my makeup, go ahead and keep on watching. But before you do that, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell, and let's get right into this video. Yeah, June has just been such a wild month. I'm putting on sunscreen, by the way. I'll leave all products listed down below because we're going to be talking through this, and I probably will forget to tell you guys what I'm using. But yeah, June has just been first half. The first 9 days wasn't even half. It was great. I got a lot done with content, and I was on my Zoom. I was back on my Zoom, and things were going well, right? And then insomnia hit. Like, I just had the worst wave of insomnia. There was a week where, in the span of 2 days, I only had 8 hours of sleep. And it was just like, what is going on? Like, I would be at work and I would be tired, and then as soon as I get home, my mind is just ready for hours on hours of just being up. And obviously, that does damage in the sense of you're always tired, you're sleeping a lot because you're not sleeping, and when you get the chance to sleep, you're going to sleep a long time, and it was frustrating. And then the sky decided to turn yellow for a week, so couldn't get anything done then, and it's just been so crazy. And it's frustrating because there's things I want to get done, there's things I need to get done, but it's like nothing is working. But I'm hoping July is better. I've been playing by Donnie McClurkin, We Fall Down. I grew up in a home with my mom, like with both my parents, but my mom more so was so big on gospel music. Like, we couldn't listen to anything else. I broke that, of course. I was like, yeah, there's more out there. The kids at school are singing other songs, and I'm the only one who knows Kirk Franklin and CeCe Winans and them. Yep, we're gonna switch it up. But that song has just been playing in my head, you know, like, we fall down, but we get back up. And that's kind of my mission for July. But other things have been playing into this, some other life events that I'm not ready to talk about just yet, but also I feel like the beauty community is at a place where nothing's happening. Someone just said on Twitter this morning, which when I say this morning, I mean today's Tuesday, so Tuesday morning, I saw this tweet that talked about how, like, is the beauty community dead? Like, this person doesn't want to go on TikTok, and I understand because I post on TikTok, but I don't go to TikTok for makeup or just beauty, really. I don't have an interest in it, and I think I'm going to elaborate more on that, but I think there's a reason why. But she just said, like, you know, what's going on? Nobody's doing YouTube tutorials anymore. She doesn't go on TikTok because it's more so about the transition than, like, actually, like, what's going on. And, like, at my job, I hear all the younger crowd. I'm still young. I'll be 27 in August, but, you know, the people who are freshly 20, late teens, they always talk about what's trending on TikTok. And one thing that I notice that's trending on TikTok are things that, if you've been in the beauty community long enough, like I experienced in my late teens and 20s and early 20s. And I'm like, that's not new. But it's new to them, which, great, but I can see why people don't want to be on TikTok. Like, if you're my age or older and you've been a part of the beauty community, TikTok is just kind of like, we done seen this already, or like, that trend that looks stupid, or, you know, it's not geared towards us, I feel like. And I feel like YouTube is at that place where right now shorts are being pushed more and longer videos are kind of like, if people really like you, they really mess with you, then yeah, they're gonna watch your videos. But if you don't really have that crowd building, your videos aren't gonna be watched really. So it's a double-edged sword, because TikTok, you really have to be keeping up with the trends. YouTube, you don't really need to be on the trends, but because YouTube isn't trending, it's kind of hard to gain your platform and your following. So I feel like on the social media based side, that affects me as well, because I'm like, I always like feel like I don't know what to do, because I'm like, I'm not going on TikTok. I am on TikTok and I do post, but I'm not doing TikTok like how they're doing TikTok, because it's not appealing to me, so therefore that energy is going to show throughout my content. And then two, I know all these things already, or I've already played in makeup and done those things, and I know either A, it's not going to work for me, or it's not going to work in general, or it does work for me, so there's no point of me going through this, you know? So I feel that, like, you know, what's happening right now to the beauty community, and I just think it's in this weird in-between. And I think it'll pass. It's just going to take time, and it's uncomfortable for content creators who, you know, maybe started building up their channel during quarantine or late 20 teens, like 2018, 2019, 2017, where like now you're just like, so what happens now? Because everything's, you know, very quick and seconds based, opposed to, you know, longer videos that are like 30 minutes, 20 minutes, sometimes an hour. Like, where do we go from here? So I get it. I feel like that all the time, especially if you guys are familiar with my channel. I do my eyeshadow lookbooks, and I feel like I've been like searching through Trend Mood and Cocoa swatches, and I just don't see any palettes that I'm like, ooh, I wanna play in that, and ooh, the people might like to see some, you know, 3 or 4 eyeshadow looks with this product. Like, that's not there anymore. And I also feel like on a business side, once businesses get back to that, I think the beauty community will be fun again, and it'll come alive again. But it's both the platforms and the businesses, because I feel like if it was, you know, obviously pre-COVID, because I feel like COVID changed everything, the pandemic changed everything. Pre-COVID, we didn't have issues like this. There was always a way for you to create content. There was always something new on the market. There was always a launch or a drop, which of course became overwhelming for people. But in the sense of content creators, there was something you could do. There was never really like a down period. There was never a reason for you to pivot into another lifestyle, which pivoting is fine, which we'll get into, but there was never a reason for you to say, okay, you know, makeup's not working, let me move over to nails, because there was always something for you. But now it's like, well, makeup's not working, so let me go over to skincare, let me go over to hair, let me go over to nails, let me go over to fashion, let me go over to lifestyle. Like, you're having to pivot, because makeup being the foundation is really weird right now, and there's no solid footing unless you're like, you know, really wanting to appeal to the TikTok crowd, and not everybody wants to do that. So now you're just kind of in this weird in-between where you're like, what do I do? And I feel like that also plays with the businesses, a lot of which is happening geared towards, you know, what's trending, which is TikTok. Things that are quick and easy, things that are cute and aesthetic. And, you know, there was always an aesthetic back then, but it's not as hyped as it is now. You know, there have always been an aesthetic, but the aesthetic, I feel like, were in groups. You had your people who loved, you know, your natural eyes and the color. There you go. Before we even, I'm about to cut myself off. Where I was, everything was colorful. That was the aesthetic. Rainbow palettes and palettes that had a theme, a color theme, and all of that. And of course, you know, you had your people who liked your soft glam and your natural makeup looks, but those people kind of got pushed to the side. So it's kind of happening again. Now it's things that are more like trendy and cute, and all of that is starting to come up again. And now, like, the people who are like really into makeup and, you know, have created a solid, you know, portfolio or a solid grounding, they're grounding has been uprooted and shaken, and now we're kind of where the people who were experiencing rainbow palettes and colorful stuff, you know, coming up, the people who were like natural soft flame, we kind of know how they feel right now. But there's always a trend going, so eventually this is going to subside. This isn't going to be forever. Everything comes and goes. There's always a flow. There's always an ebb and flow. Okay, so it's not going to be like this forever. So if you are somebody who is in the content creator world and you're kind of like where I am and some other people are, where you feel like, what do I do now? What's going to happen next? Things will change. What they'll change into, I don't know. But things will change and you'll find your footing and your grounding again. As much as people, I know there's people who give up and, you know, will try to steer people away from being a content creator and an influencer. It's not for everybody. I will say that. It's not as easy as it looks. And, you know, everyone has a different calling for it, if you truly have that calling. Some people just kind of like the aesthetic of it. People like the quick money for it. But if you're looking for longevity, you just got to keep going. You got to keep pushing through. If this is your calling and you've been called to do this for so long, just push through. Push through. It's not easy. I'm telling you, because I'm pushing through and I don't have that much content. Like I said, you know, eyeshadow lookbooks, I haven't done one. I haven't looked at an eyeshadow palette since, what is it, the Huda Beauty one? I think that was my last one. And I'm just like, there's nothing else. Like, I don't see an eyeshadow palette where I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna play with that. Or, ooh, let me do an eyeshadow lookbook. Because it's just like, eh. And I just don't feel it. Now, We Create Wednesdays, I can pick a bunch of looks. It's just finding the energy for that. I like doing bronzer reviews, obviously, so there's always a new bronzer out, but after a while that does kind of get a little boring because I'm going to give you guys eyeshadow looks. I'm going to give you guys something fun aside from just bronzer. So I think once the market gets back to, you know, also finding, how I was saying earlier, people who have different aesthetics, like, you know, you can create a soft blend palette, you know, for the summertime, and then come in the fall, like, give us a colorful palette. Like, knowing that there's one big community in makeup, but knowing that there's sub communities in there, I think brands need to know that, because I feel like sometimes they forget that. That there's people who like different styles of makeup, and I think you can cater to all of them within your brand, as long as, you know, you're sticking to, you know, what you know and stuff. And sometimes, you know, you can't, and that's okay. It doesn't always translate well, and you stick to what you know. We can find other brands, but I think collectively where we are now, everyone's just wanting trendy. And trendy is cute. Trendy give you your money, but it's trendy. It's not always, trends don't last. That's why it's called a trend. Okay, so I don't know. It's a weird timing. Everything has been so weird. June has been a crazy month. The insomnia was crazy. I mean, I'm hoping July is so much better, but I don't know. So I have some other content that I have planned for a while that I'm thinking about, you know, being able to execute this week, and hopefully I am, so I can just kind of get back to pacing myself. I just kind of got to a point where I'm not letting life happen to me. I mean, there's some things that are out of my control, but then it's like, if I can take control of something, I am. If I can control, in the sense of initiating a conversation or initiating a job application or initiating, you know, a trip or whatever, I will. I'm just going to take the initiative, because I'm not going to sit around and wait just for the outcome to happen. That's not fun. It's going to drive you crazy. Do what you can. One thing I say to myself is, if I can control it, I'm going to let it go. If I can't control it, I'm going to let it go. But if I'm stressing over something I can't control, that means I don't trust myself, and now I need to figure out why I don't trust myself being able to handle whatever situation that's arising. And so that has been keeping my head clear. But that was something I also had to do in the month of June, is keep my head clear, because it wasn't. My head was like everywhere, trying to figure out what was being thrown at me, trying to make sense of things. And sometimes things just don't make sense in the moment. You know, things happen, you process it, and The why comes later. Sometimes I won't ever say the why never comes. The why does come. Sometimes it's years later, and I'm learning that. Sometimes, you ask a question 4 years ago and you finally get the answer and you're like, oh, okay. But the thing is, the first time you see the thing you need the answer to, you're always like constantly looking. And then eventually you let it go and then like you forget about it. And then the 4 years later come and you remember something, right? And it's kind of interesting how like, it's so like it leaves your mind for so long, but as soon as you get that answer, you know exactly what it's for. And I've had moments like that in June, which was great, which brought some clarity, but I just kind of felt like the best way to sum up June was like a huge tower moment, but it was a good tower moment. I look at tower moments as a good thing because I know reconstruction is going to be built. Something bigger and better and stabler, more stable, whatever you want to say, is going to be built right after it. So I never feel like a loss with it, but I do feel like I'm tired of them, I can tell you that. But I feel like June is going to be a good month, and that's just because I said so. And I mean, not June, July is going to be a good month because I said so. And if you had a bad June, July is going to be a good month for you. And just hang in there. It's hard, but hang in there. We're in this together. I still feel a little bit all over the place, but I feel less all over the place. If that makes sense. I just don't want to feel like this ever again. So I'm doing all that I can to just not feel like this ever again. It was not fun. June had its fun moments, but it just wasn't fun. And it was just filled with like so much overthinking, not so much doubt. There was doubt there. There was a lot of worries there. But like it's subsiding. We're getting better. It's easing up, but I don't like it. Don't like it. It was not fun. But I went to the beach and I feel better. Like I had the best sleep ever. I slept I think like 10 hours last night, meaning from Monday to Tuesday. 10 hours, 10 out of 10, no pun intended. 10 out of 10 would highly recommend. A beach day is sometimes all you need. A beach day and a good cry is sometimes that's all you need. Because you have to release, and water is healing, and there's, I don't think it's a coincidence. I'm a very spiritual person, which it's funny because I've been filming for a very long time, and I don't think I've ever introduced this side to you guys. But as a spiritual person, water is healing, and I don't think it's a coincidence that after spending the day at the beach with someone who makes me laugh and all that, it was one of my favorite cousins, like, it made sense that my spirits are lifted, and I was able to leave a lot of things at the water and just, feel better because I was feeling crazy. The beginning, first 2 months of the year were great. We had a little bit of fun. It was nice. It was a little bit overwhelming. I'm not gonna lie. There were times where I couldn't breathe, and then after February, I don't know. It got really Twilight Zone-ish. But, we move. At the end of the day, we're always going to move. We're always going to, and when I say we're, you're included, but I usually just kind of mean me. We always move. We always, keep going. Even keep going doesn't always just mean, not take into consideration what's going on and processing it. But processing it can also be a form of movement. But no matter what, we move. And there are times where you just have to stand still. You just have to stand still. That was a lot of concealer. But you know what? We blend, okay? We always blend. So I've just been trying to figure out life and trying to figure out how to keep going throughout life while life is doing its job, and figuring out how I can continue to do my job as life does its job. And my job being, human, and being a good friend and a good daughter, a good sister, and all that. How do I do all this? Because right now life is life, and I don't know. This video is kind of all over the place, but usually when I talk, I kind of am all over the place. I didn't have a structure on how I wanted this to go, but hopefully I'm making sense. I just want the rest of my summer and the rest of the year to be really peaceful and nice and not a continuation of what's been going on, because it's not fun. It's not fun in the slightest. Yeah, but I've been planning, so that's good. Planning is good. I've also started the layout for Green Series. We've been talking about that since 2020, but we finally here. Okay, we finally got it going. I just have to get a new wig. I have to dye it. I have to just take the photos and the pictures and all that and go from there. But before I work, I have to make sure I'm okay first. But I have been working on that. I have some reels planned, Instagram reels and some TikToks planned. And I don't have anything for YouTube besides this video, but I wanted to at least check in with you guys because I feel like I leave you guys on the back burner because I forget. I don't forget about you guys. Instagram is now my highest platform when it comes to my following, but YouTube is my center. You guys are my foundation, so I don't forget about you guys. I always think about you guys, but I never think to sit down and film a video. And I decided to sit down and film a video because I never sit down and film a video like this for you guys. So I thought I'd give you guys an update. I have been thinking about some skincare stuff, maybe doing like another like talk through, just kind of a check-in, but skincare wise, so that would be fun. But I don't know yet. Again, like I said, I have to make sure I'm okay first. These are just ideas being tossed out, but I'll figure it out. But I figured this would be a nice little check-in, a little heart-to-heart moment. I don't know. Life has been so good and crazy at the same time. Like it's something right now. We're on some sort of journey right now, and I don't know where. I know it's gonna lead me to where I belong and like to my highest self and the things that I've been desiring, because I've been getting little hints of that. Like I see the things that I want in real life, and I'm like, okay, it's obtainable, and then also it's on its way to me, which is great. But it's like having to navigate to that place where it's already mine. Like I know it's already mine, but having to get there where it's mine in my hands is the journey there, because I don't know where I'm going necessarily, and I don't understand why I have to go through this path. But like I said, the why comes later. Life will show you why a lot later sometimes, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But what was I gonna say? I forget. Yeah, I don't know. The why comes later. But we'll get there. I don't know what else to say. Well, we started taking full body pictures. So if you guys didn't know, I kind of struggle with taking full body pictures. There's a whole backstory, which don't really want to get into right now. Maybe one day I will, but I struggle with taking full body pictures, but I started taking them, and I feel like Green Series is going to really introduce that. More full body pictures and me getting comfortable in front of the camera. It's a journey. I've been on this journey trying to get comfortable with getting full body pictures for a minute now. Very long minute, but we're here. I'm glad we're finally here because it's been a struggle, but I am excited for that, at least, because I really kind of get to showcase my outfits, because I can dress. Okay? That's a nice little topic we can talk about. Creating outfit content is very hard when you're in your head, because like getting ready for work, I can dress like not my current job, but I had a job where I would get dressed at, and it was like second nature to me, you know? It came really easy and all that, and then like when I have to think about it for like content, I don't know why, but I just freeze up. And it's been a journey, but I'm trying my best not to stay in my head, especially about content. So we're making progress. It may not be the progress I want to see now, but it's progress that me maybe about a month ago, 3 months ago, however far along back, I would have wanted to see. And I can at least give her that, right? So I'm glad I'm able to do that. I have a bunch of things in my head I want to say, but it's hard to form those words because like it makes sense in my head, but I don't know how to sometimes always articulate myself. So again, like I said, I'm hoping this makes sense, but if it doesn't, it's okay. It's quite alright. Alright, so this face is pretty simple. This is my work face. I don't do too much. Eyes, I don't really do anything to it because well, kind of what I said, there's not really much out there for me to do, and I'm tired of doing a natural eye. And if I'm gonna do eyeshadow, I need a lot of time to play in eyeshadow. And that's something else I've been doing, is kind of just like playing around in makeup behind the scenes, just kind of not resting on my laurels and just kind of having fun with everything. Because, you know, makeup should be fun even if you are doing it for work. You should have fun doing whatever it is that you love. It should always be fun. Or even if it's not always fun, for the most part, it should be fun. It shouldn't feel like work. And if it feels like work, then you gotta take a break or, you know, put it down for a little bit. Well, that is taking a break. Maybe take it down, take a break for a longer period of time. I don't know. But it should mostly feel like fun. You should always enjoy what you're doing if it's something you're really passionate about and love. But not everything you're passionate about or not everything that you love should be turned into a paycheck. Always remember that, because I think right now we are in that era where everything should turn into a stream of income, and that's not always true. Like, you don't have to. Your hobbies could just be your hobbies. Your passion can just be your passion. It doesn't have to provide you money all the time. And you can have more than one passion, but it doesn't always have to be turned into content, a business. It could just be. In the same ways that you can just be, your passion can just be. So, I don't know who needed to hear that. It wasn't me, but it was somebody. One of y'all needed to hear that. So, just, you know, take it easy on yourself. I know I need to hear that. Taking it easy on myself. So one thing I'm always at is my head. And I've been looking for a therapist because I can't do this all on my own. But it's hard because going through your insurance, being 16, 26, you know, you're not on your parents' insurance, so you have to get your own insurance, and it's this whole thing. And I just did something on Marketplace. I didn't really like look into it, but next year I will, like renewing it and all that. I would definitely look into something better because I don't know. It's hard right now. Like, I don't even, like when I was looking for my therapist, I was just like, no. And I was just like, oh, it's because like all the ones in network, I'm just like, So it's kind of hard, but yeah, I'll figure it out. But it is on my list because, again, like I said, I can't do this on my own. And as a psych major, trying to do this on my own, knowing the things that I know, it's not possible. It's not possible. Oh, speaking of doing things on your own, like, me and my friendships are evolving, and one thing I learned is, like, although, like, obviously we know it, but, like, having to, like, learn and experience it, it kind of really sets in that, like, your friendships need time and energy and a space to grow. Me and my best friend, I'm going to hydrate my lips because I guess you're not hydrated. So me and my best friend have been friends for a very long time. Some falling outs or whatever, but you know. So what was I gonna say? Oh, like we're like, our friendship has like truly evolved over the years. And like looking back, like we went from having that friendship where we had to text each other every day, which is very, for me, not healthy. I'm not a fan of it. It's just, my life isn't that interesting for me to text anybody every day. Oh, we really got tan. We got real tan. Look at that. We got a really tan. Oh, look at my tan lines. Can you guys see it? My tan line, my bathing suit there is a one strap. It's cute. It's gonna be in the reels that I'll post this week, but what was I gonna say? Oh, texting every day. Nah, my life isn't that interesting, but we used to text every day. And then, like, we got to the place where you're like, are you mad at me? Are you mad at me? And I was like, no, like, I need a break, or, like, this is going on. And then, like, so then we evolved into, I would go to her house, like, multiple times a week, because she lived near me. And then, like, even then, I got maybe, like, for the both of us, too much and too stressful, because she also has kids. And then, it evolves, and then you guys find your footing. And, like, right now, I feel like we found a place that really, like, makes sense for us. And the same thing, like, with me and my favorite cousin, and, you know, romantic relationships. You find your footing, you find what makes sense for you guys. And it's a trial and error, and you gonna go through a lot of things, and it's gonna be frustrating, but to finally find your footing and your grounding, and to have more good days and bad days, or frustrating days, or moments of bickering, or whatever, fallouts after fallout, like, when you find your footing, it's like, okay, this is what works for us. This is our friendship. This is what makes sense to us. And I'm kind of glad we got there, because, again, nobody wants to keep going over and over again, you know, finding your footing. And it is frustrating. You're going to have days where you're just like, bro, this isn't working. But, like, it somehow makes you happy, but I'm not happy, and vice versa. And then you find it, and you're just like, okay, this works for both of us. Like, we found our grounding, and, like, worth it. So I'm happy about that. A lot of my relationships, we found our little small spaces where our friendship can thrive. Let me get this off of my face. Oh, that may not have been the best choice. So yeah, I don't know. Relationships are hard, whether they're romantic or platonic or familial. Familial, is that the word? Familial? Whatever the family term is, that one, they're hard no matter what, because it's two people, and we all have different ways of feeling comfort, feeling love, and feeling heard and understood. And you just gotta navigate that and figure out, you know, what works for each other, and how do we turn that into something that works for our friendship, for the both of us, so it doesn't feel like one person is being overlooked, or one person is being hurt and the other one isn't, and we're only doing something to comfort the one person, and we're just gonna have to rock out with this spot on our face because I'm only at work for a few hours. We'll be okay. Life goes on. It is just makeup. I am not. Old me would have been pissed. Old me would have been like, we can't go to work like this. Old me would have not have gone for this. But you know what? I don't care. Because if I stress about one more minute thing, I'm gonna combust. I don't have it in me to care, so we're gonna do the best that we can and just cover this as best as I can. Oh, we can talk about how when we know people are weird towards you. No, let's not do that, because I have things to say and it's not very nice. So we're not gonna go down that road. Yeah, relationships are definitely evolving. Learning how to, also the relationship with yourself, that's always evolving. The different things that you need in the moment, that's always changing. Like, what you needed at 19 is not going to be the same thing you need at 27, and what you needed at 25 will be the same thing you needed at 26. As long as you're evolving. I don't know, for some people maybe it's the same. But as long as you're evolving, that usually tends to change over time, your methods of taking care of yourself, because something that you might have done at a young age, or even last year or 6 months from now, it's not going to work now because you didn't need what you needed 6 months from now is not what you need right now, 6 months later, because you already got what you needed 6 months ago. You got that now, so now you have to either tend to that and figure out how to tend to that, or whatever the next thing is that you need or want, you have to plant that footing and that seed and that growing for what you need now. I hope that makes sense. And I actually have a little social media friend, a little social media mentor guide. She said something similar to me about that back in, I want to say January or the end of last year, I forget when. But she said that pretty much. And it took me a while to like really get that, because one thing I was always doing before I had that conversation, I used to like morning stretch every morning and go for a walk and meditate, and I had a nice little lifey life when it came to that, but money-wise I didn't have a nice little lifey life. But I missed that. I missed having the time to do that. But then when I decided to kind of create a life where I could do both, I realized sometimes you can't have both. And I'm going through that right now, where sometimes you can't have both. And you have to sometimes give up certain things to get to the life that you want. And in that case, I was giving up that time to myself and that me time and those times for a walk for stability, financial stability, which led into other kind of stabilities, because you need money to, go through life. And I was able to, do things I wanted to and things I needed to. And now that I kind of switched that around, I'm like, whoa, what a drastic change. Like, I have the time for these things, but that security isn't there that I'm used to. So, it makes me think now, okay, what do I gotta do now? You know what I mean? Like, how do I find that perfect balance? And I believe that it does exist, but you're gonna have to trial and error it, teeter it a little bit, figuring out that whole kind of stability on both ends, the financial side, the spiritual side, the relationships, everything. There is an equal balance somewhere, but you gotta figure it out. That's what life is about. You gotta figure it all out. So that's kind of where I am in life right now. It's just figuring everything out. But I had to pause. I had to take care of me, because insomnia was crazy and feeling insane. When I say insane, that probably is a harsh word, because there are people who literally feel insane. Feeling like my mind was just overcrowded and overworked is the right way to say it, is how I felt. I just felt too much all at once, and I was taking in too much all at once, and I just couldn't handle it. So I had to break away for a little bit. I didn't break, but I had to break away for a little bit. So now we're here. We have slight movement. I don't know when the next video will be, but it'll be sometime, somewhere soon. I don't know what it'll be, but I'll figure it out. Because as always, we move. But for now. So I know somebody's going to be mad because I put powder on and then I put this liquid blush. But I'm going to be honest with you. This is the only way I like it. My makeup routine, I don't remember it. Which is weird, because I also haven't been doing makeup consistently. And so I don't remember if I do my liquid blush after I do concealer, or when I do my cream bronzer, I have no idea. So like I'm also kind of like playing around. So yeah, there's that. There's that. So if things look off, it's because I'm off just a little bit, but we're getting back on track. So what do we do? Are we gonna wipe it off? We are going to wipe it off. Well, I guess we're starting all the way over. Well, let that be a sign or a message here. Sometimes you gotta start all the way over. Or mostly over because the forehead's fine. Get here. Alright. Okay, so now we know we're not putting liquid blush over powder. I thought I used to do that. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. I have no idea what I used to do. Like, I've been so far away from my life. Alright, we're gonna do eyes, under eyes first. I'm gonna do the rest of my face on camera and then we're gonna close everything out because we're looking at like 45 minutes of me talking right now and I don't have anything else to say. So I'll be back. I try to keep it really simple and bare, and hopefully today's video made sense. If it didn't, I'm sorry. I just needed to get out of my head and also update you guys like about what's going on and what's to come. But just bear with me because this is a lot to adjust to because I'm in a lot of uncharted waters and, you know, I gotta figure out how to swim in this kind of water. But I will swim, I will float, I will get to where I need to be, but this is pretty much it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. I feel like maybe I have to go to this shade now, my summer shade yet. Ooh, this is like a nice little product shot. What the hell is in my contact that is like squiggly? This is a cute little product shot. I might have to move up to my summer shade. I don't know, but this is how I'm going to go to work. I'm not going to stress it. It is what it is. But I will see you guys in my next one. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you hopefully soon. Bye.